Hello, Stuff of Nonsense students. So here we are another week after the long weekend, and one of my friends who saw this YouTube last week said I did not give you a proper tour of the Alice in Wonderland shrine because I was moving too quickly. So I'm going to start with that. I'll show you a little bit. I'll do it slowly. Not that I do anything very slowly usually, but here goes. Okay, so slowly. Here's one picture. This one is by Arthur Rackham. I'll turn the camera this way. That's Alice. That's the caterpillar. Hold on, I gotta go this way. Talking to Alice. Oh, okay, good enough. I'm starting to go faster again. These are all the books. Can you see? Am I making you dizzy, turning it around? These are the stuffed animals. Can you see those? That's a Cheshire cat. Alice in Wonderland gloves. There's way more stuff, but I think I'm making you dizzy. Here's one picture. Tea Party. That's by Tenniel, if you saw that one. How's that work? That's illustrations that you have in your book. All right, maybe that's enough for today. I also have a vast collection of Alice in Wonderland t-shirts. Maybe I should start wearing those to amuse you. Okay, so today my thing I want to talk about grows out of the study questions, so make sure you're answering them and make sure you're following the study questions. Okay, so the Alice's changes in size, the rabbit hole. It's time to talk about sex in the books, in the book, but we know we're only reading Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, the first book. So a little bit about Lewis Carroll. Okay, we know that, as far as we know, there is no record that he ever had a girlfriend or, for that matter, a boyfriend. So he appears to never have had like a relationship, as far as we know, a sexual relationship. He definitely was, he loved Alice, we'll call it that. And if we had done it in class together, I would have described it as an odd love for little girls. But I should say that there's no evidence at all that there was any molestation or anything like that. If I had to speculate, I'd say maybe he had wishes, but that they were repressed. And it's interesting because the definition of pedophilia is like a desire to have sex with children, but it isn't necessarily to do it. So, you know, again, he was pretty famous. Everyone who knew about him and was friends with him, everyone kind of capitalized on it. Like, you know, they you know, it was good for their reputation that they were friends with him. And there were a couple of the girls, Alice, one of them, and also an actress, Ellen Terry, who he stayed in touch with after they grew up. But most of the little girls that he befriended in his lifetime, he stopped the friendship when they reached puberty. Interesting, because the Alice book, you know, my approach to it is that it's in many ways about puberty. So I wanted to show you this book, okay? He was also known, you might find this a bit shocking, he was a portrait photographer. So he took portraits of famous people, including, there was a famous British poet, Alfred Tennyson. So he would write a letter to Tennyson and say, "It's me, Dodgson. Could I come and take your picture?" And he was renowned for his photography. So he was known for this. But he also did nude photos of little girls. So this is, again, could shock you a bit. When he died, he asked that the negatives be destroyed, but several of them were not destroyed. And that's this book, which is actually a pretty rare book, because I have a lot of books, including some rare ones. And you see, like, the girls, right? So one thing we know is that he always asked, he insisted on the parents' permission. And he also said that this is the style of a Goya painting, by the way. That one's probably the most sort of a sexual pose of all of them. So there are 4 photos that survived, and they're in the book. Okay, so it's a little bit odd. And what are we looking for in the book? Well, we're looking for lots of things, but you know Alice's change in size, this rapid expansion and contraction, so that has been noted by Freudians that that's a bit like the penis, right? And the idea of like, or called a phallic symbol, P-H-A-L-L-I-C, in case you're taking notes. But anyway, and this idea of that you can't control it in the same way that you a guy can't control an erection. I thought maybe what we'll do next week, and you'll see I'll use the forum for this, is maybe have a little discussion about puberty, you know, because the memories of puberty are pretty interesting. And this idea that it's an awkward time for kids, right? Are you a kid? Are you an adult? What is going on with your body? Are you sprouting hairs you didn't have before? Anyway, I was playing with that idea this morning, thinking maybe we could have a little discussion about that. Okay, so I want to point out what are some of the sexual images in the book according to the Freudians, okay? So they would say small doors, so all these little entrances ways, the well, remember, and the rabbit hole, which is compared to a well, the rabbit hole itself, all of these are female or vaginal symbols. Phallic, or symbols of the penis, would be the key, Alice's foot when it's up the chimney, Alice's elongated neck, and that picture that you see in the drawings, the neck is really, really long, and Alice's rapid expansion and contraction. So I'll just put that out there to start your school week, so that we don't only talk about, you know, I don't know, serious stuff. This is serious, but shakes things up a little bit. So I hope you're doing okay. I'll see you tomorrow. It's Tuesday, and I'll be back on Wednesday. Keep up with the YouTubes, work on the study questions, think about your creative project. On Thursday, I'll talk to you more about the creative project, just because I want that, you know, going in your heads as the last big piece of work that you'll have for this course. And you should make it. And if you're keeping up with the YouTubes and the study questions, we are doing Alice together. I wish I could do it with you in person, but this is it's working okay for me. I hope it is for you. Okay, bye.